Hey everyone, it's Mario Time 1000 and welcome back to YouTube because I know some of you out there only go on YouTube for Mario Time 1000 content. It's been a while since you've been on Mario Time 1000, or no, it's been a while since you've been on YouTube because I don't make videos that often. But no, I just released a video earlier in the time period. If you can tell, I have no idea when my videos go out. I'm filming this on the same day as I filmed the last one because I really want to get into this stuff because I am pretty excited about this, just getting into 2018 diecasts. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of new things about the 2018 diecast that we didn't have on previous, and by a lot I mean the Halo. But no, I'm excited to look into these diecasts because, as I've mentioned before, I mentioned in the last video, I've got something interesting to say. And yeah, so in a sec I will get into that. But first, the diecast we are looking at today is Marcus Ericsson's 2018 Alfa Romeo Sauber C37 from the Bahrain Grand Prix. I don't know why, but it seems like Spark specialize in the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is like my third or fourth Bahrain Grand Prix Spark diecast, but that's not anything to complain about because we're still getting them and they pretty much look the same anyway. So we're going to take a look at this in a sec, but first I want to tell you guys what it is that a little update, the forecast for the future. So I am planning, my goal is to get every single 2018 driver in the form of a diecast. Every single car and driver. 20 F1 cars that I want to get. And that's going to be, it's definitely not going to be an easy task, as F1 diecasts, as we know, are expensive. But if you look at the retail prices for something like a Spark diecast and a Mini Champs diecast, you know that it's not going to be a cheap affair. But I want to do it because it'd be pretty cool, because I don't think anyone on YouTube has ever looked at a full grid of F1 diecasts for a particular season. I know there are other people that look at a fair share of F1 diecasts, but they're sort of just a mix and match. Some of them are from the 90s and stuff. I think people still want to see what the modern diecast game looks like. In fact, I think there are some people out here that don't even know F1 diecast exists because they're so expensive. I didn't even think you could get an F1 diecast for anyone except Ferrari a few years ago. Yeah, this is a feat that is going to take a while and cost a lot of money because some of the diecasts are not even out yet. But I think I will be able to do it, since I have found a website where I think I'll be able to get most of the cars. And I'll be talking about that website in a future video, because there's a diecast that I do not have yet that is coming from that particular website. And if all goes well, I will be talking about it. None of the 2018 diecasts I've gotten thus far, though, are from that website. The only thing about this plan is that it's going to contain a lot of Spark diecasts, because pretty much every diecast I can get a Spark form, I will be getting a Spark form, except for back there. Talk about that in the next video. Because Spark diecasts, they're not as detailed, as the Mini Champs diecast, but they're still pretty detailed. They're still pretty darn good. So yeah, Spark diecast cost about $80. A typical Mini Champs diecast 143 costs $119. So yeah, you can see, but you've waited long enough. Let's just get into the dang video. So this will be our first 2018 diecast. There's no reason to try and save this plastic. Let's just get it out. The Spark Sauber C37. Guys, I swear I'm not only buying cars from this team. This was just the first one I could find at a reasonable price on eBay. That is where I bought this diecast. People ask me all the time, where do you get the diecast? I got this from eBay. I don't remember the seller name, but I'll hopefully have a good answer for you. So first, let's take a look at the box. Very shiny car. I really want to open this, but yeah, let's get into the box. I really like the Spark boxes. I think they're really great because they're themed to the team so well. This one's a little bland though. I didn't show them, but the Spark boxes for the last year's Sauber back there were really, really nice. This one, I like the color scheme of the car, but on the box it just looks a little bland. On the bottom here, just in case you want to read the bottom, we got blah, 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 blah. The diecast itself, officially blah, blah, blah. Not a toy. It says that on here somewhere. Not a toy. Alright, let's get the box off. Of course, you've got a little card thing here. I guess you could call this a collector's card. It's really just the back of the box, but, you know, you do what you do. And here is the car. Since the last video where there was all the dust on all the Saubers, I've started putting the dust covers back on the cars. Because they're just so dang hard to dust, and these Spark and Mini Champs diecasts have little tiny details on it that are super easy to break off, and I don't want to do that when getting dust off the car, so usually these will go back in the dust covers. I'm not sure how I'm going to display all the 2018 cars yet. I wanted to do it without the dust covers on, but that'd be really difficult. Anyway, wow, that changed it so much. Here is the Spark 2018 Marcus Ericsson diecast. Let's take a look at it. So here's the diecast a little bit up closer. I hope the black cover looks a little bit better. I thought the table that was before was a little bit bad. Sorry, the camera still sucks. I'm hoping to get that improved for later diecasts. I wanted to wait to do this video when I had a better camera, but I really wanted to really wanted to look at these cars. So here it is. The 2018 diecast, the first one we're looking at on this channel, technically, because I guess you could argue. No, you can't argue that because that's a 2017 car. It says 2017 right on the box. Anyway, here is the diecast, just giving a little 360 look. These Spark diecasts, I really do not like to take off the base anymore because the base on these Spark diecasts are just so much better than the Mini Champs bases because you can see the entire car in a 360 view. The Mini Champs bases have, I guess you can, no, but you still have to take the car to get those off, I think. You still have to take the car off the base to get those off. Let's give it a little look-see here. We've got, oh, that was perfect. Got a good carbon fiber detail on the front wing. A lot of detail on the front wing. Got this silvery bits and bobs. Got the Sauber logo, Alfa Romeo, Claro, whatever, Pirelli. 9, Marcus Ericsson's number 9. You've got the radio antennas and shib, the things I always break on the car right here. I'm not even going to touch those. We've got the halo, the beautiful halo, and of course I'm being sarcastic because it's quite, well, it was quite an eyesore, but I think we all forgot about it after a while. Yeah, you can see, I'm just trying to look at this halo. I'm really wondering how they detailed this. I'm going to be looking at this closely because this is the biggest difference from 2018 to 2017. I know some teams had aerodynamic doodads on the top of the halo, and I'm looking at this and it doesn't look like it's a separate piece. I'm not even a little surprised by that because that'd be a lot of extra work, but it does look like it's molded where there's a little bit of a dip in it, and I can feel it, and I know it's molded here where it's faking that there's a winglet on it, and you can see that little black line on it too. Supposed to fake that there's a winglet on top of there when there really is not. We've got Marcus Ericsson in there. Check out this Airbox. So this was something that when I first saw this, I was kind of shocked. Look at how unbelievably detailed that is. Can't even get on there. We've got, I believe these are camera mounts. But look at how many different holes there are in that. That is quite complex, Sauber. Looking at the side, we've got the barge boards. Got a few more sponsors. We've got these little winglets right here, which were on last year's Sauber, but they didn't point down as much. But they're on that. They're like that on both sides, so I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like that, and that makes sense. We'll take a look at the intakes on the side here, quite complex. Big Alfa Romeo logo and the little clover on the side of it, traditional of Alfa Romeo cars. I actually have a F1 car from the 60s. That's an Alfa Romeo. It's got that same thing. Number 9. And, yep, Marcus Ericsson, Sauber F1 team. We've got nothing on the inside of the rear wing. But we've got Alfa Romeo on the back, and I think it's Sauber F1 team on the front of the rear wing. No, it's not. It's Swiss stuff. Good old Swiss. This side is the same. Extremely nice diecast. I guess we can take a look at the rear diffuser. Nice detail on that. Got tires, something on the tire here. Nice detail on that. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this. You can see the little not shark fin there because they banned those. But yeah, you can see, wow, this kind of looks like brass or something. It's really cool. Here's the top view. I would take it off the base, but I don't think I have to. I'm pretty sure the detailing would be the same. I don't have a car down here, a spark. I think all my sparks are back on the bases, so I wouldn't be able to show you the detail on the bottom. So that is the car. And now I'm going to take a look at a few other cars, because if you remember not too long ago, I did a review on this car. This is what I was hinting at earlier when I was like, oh yeah, I technically looked at a 2018 car, except it's not a 2018 car because it's a 2011 or 13. I already forgot what it was. It was 2011 or 2013 diecast, and it says 2017 on the little card right here. This is the Sauber presentation car to show off the livery that they had planned and show off their drivers. You can see we've got number 9, which was Marcus Ericsson, and number 16, which was Leclerc. I'm just going to go over this briefly because we can show how the livery changed. It didn't change all that much, actually. We can still take a look at the front of the car. Here's the front of the first one. Obviously, it has no numbers on it because they didn't on the front. And it's got the black Pirelli logo. This one has a red Pirelli logo. The number, it's got a little bit more radio stuff on it because this is obviously an active Formula 1 car. It's got this logo right here, Claro. I've said it about 50 different times in this video. One thing that is actually pretty interesting about this car, and I don't know if it's just F1 have like sleeked their designs or something, but you can see on this car, you can see there's so much more like riveting detail and lines here where the whole engine cover separate. On this car, you've really got only one line right here, but it's still pretty good detailed, so that leads me to believe it's not, oh, we're lazy and didn't want to detail all that, because I don't think they would on a 2013 car and then not on this one. It just leads me to believe that they've simplified the engine cover, but still a very nice diecast. You can see it is a little different, the engine cover detail, but I think that's all down to the way the car is shaped. You can see it's a little thinner here. It's not as round, it's straight, but the engine cover is more straight. This one more covers the sides, and I think that was to be expected because it's the same livery, it's just on a different car. And you can also tell with the front of the airbox and engine cover, it's completely straight right here. The red and the white, straight split. But here, ooh, that was scary because I heard a sound I didn't like. It's not as straight on here. It rounds the car a little bit better, but I think that's just because this is the car that the livery was actually supposed to be on. This was just to show it off, so they didn't work on detailing it as well. I still really can't believe they made this diecast, honestly, and I don't know why I have it. Some differences, though. CNBC, which is featured on the rear wing, are not on the rear wing of the 2018 car. But other than that, it's pretty much the only difference. The only other differences are purely down to the car. Like, you've got this black bit here that is not present on this car, but I think that's more just down to the way the suspension and the floor are made. There's a lot more detail on this car. There's so much more in the barge board area. Like right here, you got like 3 different pieces. and in this one you only got one. But yes, this is an active Formula One car, and this one right here is not. It's a decommissioned show car. Alright, so I made a cut because I needed to grab something. Because, obviously, if you watch my videos, you know I have last year's Sauber, the 2017 C36, and Marcus Ericsson drove for the team last year. So I think it's fitting to look at these cars side by side. You can see how different they are. There was one little thing that I thought was going to be a problem about this Spark diecast, and it was the tires. They looked smaller to me, and I was worried that they had shrunk their tires. So I had to grab another diecast, and we're going to look at it in a sec, because the Marcus Ericsson is on intermediate tires, so I can't really make a hard-up comparison to them, because the intermediate tires are naturally bigger than the slick tires. So yeah, but I'm not going to go super close up on these. You can see how different the front wings are. A dramatically better season for Sauber than they were in 2017. Part of the reason they had Leclerc, who appears to be the next big thing. I'm saying appears to be because we never know until we are there what a driver is going to perform like. You see the numbers way high up on the team, or on the 2018 car. This tablecloth, though, is catching the cars really awkwardly. Sauber, I'd say it's a still pretty blank-looking car, and it is, but the difference between this one and that one is that they actually have a sponsor, Alfa Romeo, as a title sponsor instead of 25 years in Formula One. That made the difference, I think. Even Ericsson scored points this season. He didn't score a lot, but he scored nothing in 2017, so that is definitely a marked improvement. I don't remember how much he got now. It's blanking me. Let's see. He got 9th, 10th. I'm kind of blanking right now on how many points he got. It was like 8 or something. Not as much as Leclerc, who got like 32 and he finished 7th in the last 4 races that he finished. He was 7th in Russia, retired the next 2 races, and then 7th in the last 3 races. So really, really, he's going to be one to watch. That's all I'm going to say, really. His diecast is not out yet. Views. Anyway, the rear wing's a little different. Obviously, they have this shark fin and the T-wing on the 2017 diecast. You can see where the actual car, it's a little bit lower on this car. It's got a very nice little loop here. It goes a bit higher on this. I think the shark fin you could take off. So just imagine what the shape would be like without the shark fin. Basically everything black right here. Imagine the shape of the car without that. And imagine the shape without the black part in this one. Very different rear end to these diecasts. So I'm going to cut the video right here. I'm not going to end it. And that's because I'm actually going to take the car off the base. Because I want to do a hard-up comparison with another Sauber I have from last season. I grabbed Antonio Giovinazzi because he will drive for the team next season. And I just want to check the tires out. So I will be right back. Okay, that was the worst few minutes of my life. I'm very, very, very tempted. I don't know what to say right now, because honestly, seeing these cars off the base, it just looks so right. But taking them off the base is a nightmare. So, I know I'm going to derail the video. The Alfa Romeo wasn't that hard to take off the base. Antonio Giovinazzi, though, I've had this car for a while. I don't remember if I ever took it off the base when I got it. I think I did, and then I put it back on the base just because why not? Don't ever, if you're going to take them off the base, leave them off. But if you're going to put them back on, don't ever take the base off again. It was a mistake. I must have screwed it on so tight. It was so difficult, and I was really, really worried about damaging the car. I almost didn't do it. I almost went upstairs. I almost went upstairs, grabbed the Vereline I have, Yeah, don't do it. A very fragile diecast right here. All just for a comparison of the tires, which, hey, are exactly the same. Interestingly enough, this car is actually longer, it looks like. These front wheels are together, but the rear wheels are not. So either that's a Spark scaling thing, which I don't think it is. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is just the first... Hey, actually, I'm going to start the tradition now. We're going to take a look at our full grid of 2018 F1 cars. So, we've got Marcus Ericsson on pole position right now. And that is it. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time, where we will look at this right here. Very, very interesting thing we got here. See you guys then.